Welcome back to the Brew Bowl, and we have our final summary for the round 6 of the Brew Bowl, which is of course Giant Round, which is a match between the Har Ganeth Executioners and the Icehorn Peak Jarls. So let's go over to the match report and see how the teams did. So for deployment, the Har Ganeth Executioners win the coin toss and decide they will kick to the Jarls in the first half. The kick goes too deep and the Jarls decide to give the ball to Har Ganeth. Jarls turn 1. Vidserk Leitnerson runs in to mark the Executioner's giant. The Jarl's own giant sprints across the field intent on blitzing Gibeath's Gloomcleaver, but he loses his footing at the last moment and goes down, leaving the rest of the Jarls still stuck behind their own line. Executioners turn 1. Ignoring the down giant in their midst, the Executioners instead go for the ball carrier. Gibeath's Gloomcleaver marks Rani Meldenson while Ceres Ashai moves in to blitz the ball carrier. Despite pushing him back, Ashai is unable to knock the lineman down. Charlotte Deadstrike comes in and marks the ball carrier for good measure. Gascon Flameblaze takes a risk by marking the stronger Ivan the Daggerblood, and Guinevere Denholm and Lenkor Embershard move forward to limit opportunities for the Jarls players to get around and help the ball carrier. The Executioner's giant is directed to smash Vidserk Leitnerson, but just stands there looking stupid. Jarls turn 2. The Jarls giant gets up to mark his counterpart. Multiple blocks are thrown, seeing Gascon Flameblaze and Ceres Ashai go down, but the Jarls were unable to create an opportunity for their ball carrier. Instead, they used the moment to mark up Executioner's players with stronger opponents. Executioners turn 2. Shalolo Deadstrike, who has been amped up by a questionable substance before the match, attempts a powerful block against the ball carrier. Deadstrike himself goes down, however, ending a quick play by the Executioners. Jarls turn 3. With 3 Executioners players already on the ground, the Jarls have no issue knocking Gibeath Gloomcleaver out of the way and down. Cert Gardason blocks Guinevere Denholm and seriously injured her, knocking her out for the next match after only 2 plays in her first match of the Brew Bowl. The clearing out of players gives Rani Meldenson an opportunity to run up the sideline, advancing the football. The Jarls giant blocks the Executioners one, but only knocks the beast back with the assistance of a Vidserk Leitnerson. Havild Retson attempts a foul on Gascon Flameblaze, but can't beat the lineman's armor. Executioners turn 3. Gascon Flameblaze stands up and dodges away from the Jarls players surrounding him, and instead gets into a position to mark the ball carrier. Ceres Ashai jumps up and rushes across the field to tackle Rani Meldenson. She hopes to push him over the sideline, but he goes down at the edge of the pitch first. The ball goes over the sideline and is thrown back in on the Executioner's half of the field. Lenkor Embershard dodges away from Cert Gardason and runs up to get the ball. The Executioner's giant moves forward to mark Vidserk Leitnerson, and Shalolo Deadstrike moves up to prevent the Jarls giant from dodging away to get in the way of the Jarls players trying to get to the ball carrier. The Jarls giant delivers a heavy blow to Ceres Ashai, knocking her down and stunning her at the edge of the pitch. This gives Vidserk Leitnerson an opportunity to dodge away from the Executioner's giant and blitz Lenkor Embershard. He's only able to push the runner back, however, so Cert Gardason moves up the field to provide support and close down running lanes for the Dark Elf. In the other half of the field, Ivan the Daggerblood knocks down and stuns Gibeath Gloomcleaver. Executioners turn 4. The Executioner's giant blitzes Vidserk Leitnerson, only knocking him back, but importantly getting him away from the ball carrier. This frees up Lenkor Embershard to dodge around Cert Gardason and get downfield to throw a pass to Shalolo Deadstrike, who had run down the field earlier. The pass is good, but Deadstrike fumbles the catch, dropping the ball in front of him and ending the Executioner's play. Jarls turn 5. Seeing an opportunity to push the weaker lineman into the crowd, Ivan the Daggerblood blitzes him. Everything goes south, however, when Daggerblood's block is terrible and he downs himself instead. Executioners turn 5. Shalolo Deadstrike grabs the ball and runs into the end zone, giving the Executioners their first point of the match and putting them into a 1-0 lead with the first half almost done. Jarls turn 6. The Executioners make another bad kickoff, sending the ball over the sideline with the help of some wind. The Jarls give the football to Gerleif Arnson, but for their first play they send Cert Gardason across the field to blitz Ceres Ashai. The Ylfanar loses his footing, however, and ends the Jarls' drive. Executioners turn 6. Unable to get the ball and score, the Executioners instead decide to do some damage. Their plan is to have the giant blitz the Jarls' line, and then have the remaining players gang up and foul Cert Gardason. Things don't go to plan, however, with the Giants' blitz ended by a trip before he could deliver the blow to Rani Meldenson. The half ends with the Executioners still in a 1-0 lead. In the second half, the Jarls kick off the Executioners, but an incredible kick sees the ball come right back to the Jarls' own line. To make matters worse for the Executioners, the Jarls fans burst onto the field and riot. By the time the players are able to resume play, Tuken Hellbane and Givarth Gloomcleaver are both stunned on the ground. Executioners turn 7. The Executioners giant is able to blitz across the field into Surt Gardason, knocking the Ulfanar back but not down. Ceres Ashai is able to pick up the ball despite the Jarls players marking it, and she dodges back behind the giant. Gascon Flameblaze, Shalolo Deadstrike, and Lenkor Embouchard all attempt to create a wide cage around the ball carrier. Jarls turn 7. The Jarls giant blocks Gascon Flameblaze, sending the poor Dark Elf to the injury bin for the rest of the match. This allows Gerleif Arnson to blitz the Witch Elf with the assistance of Vitsirk Leeknesson. They are only able to push Ceres Ashai, and she uses her dexterity to sidestep between the two linemen. Vildretson, Harani Meldenson, and Ivy the Daggerblood all mark up Executioners players to prevent a breakout. Executioners turn 8. The players stunned by the crowd at the start of the half get up and join the fray. The Executioners giant blocks Gerleif Arnson and knocks him down. This gives Ceres Ashai a chance to dodge into the open, which she takes, sprinting down the field and crossing the line for the Executioners' second touchdown, bringing the score to 2-0. Jarls turn 8. During the Executioners' kickoff, dark clouds roll in and a blizzard begins, making the ground treacherous. The ball lands in the midfield and the Jarls are quick to cage up, forming a protective barrier around Harani Meldenson, who has the ball. Executioners turn 9. Lenkor Embouchard and Ceres Ashai mark up on Surt Gardason, allowing Givarth Gloomcleaver to knock him down on the spot. They call for their giant to block the Jarls giant, but once again he takes leave of his wits. On the other side of the pitch, Shalolo Deadstrike, who is still amped up from before, blitzes Lavina Daggerblood, knocking him down on the sideline. Tuken Hellbane fouls Ulfanar, but can't get through his armor. Jarls turn 9. Vildretson, Vitsirk Leeknesson, and Harani Meldenson all move the cage to the middle of the field, then yell for their giant to block the Executioners one. Clearly the Giants are not playing the game today, however, as the Jarls giant just stands dumbfounded as his opponent. Gerleif Arnson uses the opportunity to blitz Ceres Ashai and knocks her down on the spot. Ivinder stands up, though he is dangerously close to being pushed into the crowd. Executioners turn 10. Taking the bait, Tuken Hellbane attempts to push Ivinder Daggerblood into the crowd with the help of Shalolo Deadstrike, but the Ulfanar proves too tough and the Dark Elf lineman goes down instead, leaving the Jarls with a clear run at the touchdown line past the giant who is no longer paying attention. Jarls turn 10. The Jarls cage runs straight past the Executioner's giant, leaving him marked by their own giant. Though once again their beast fails to wake up, leaving the Executioner's giant potentially able to move. Surt Gardason and Gerleif Arnson manhandle the Dark Elves on their side of the field, dropping Givarth Gloomcleaver and knocking back Lenkor Embouchard. Executioners turn 11. In an unlikely display of agility, the Executioner's giant manages to dodge past the Jarl's caging line and blitz the ball carrier. The giant is only able to knock Harani Meldenson back into the line of his fellow lineman. Tuken Hellbane attempts to dodge away from Ivinder Daggerblood and make a run towards his own end zone in case an opportunity to pass the ball presents itself before the clock runs out, but he is tripped by the Ulfanar and goes down. Jarls turn 11. The Jarls giant blitzes the Executioners one in an incredible blow that knocks the Executioners giant out. Harani Meldenson has a clear run at the end zone, but before he goes, Surt Gardason knocks down and stuns Lenkor Embouchard. Then Vildretson and Vitsirk Leeknesson cross the field to join in while Gerleif Arnson fouls Givarth Gloomcleaver. While the blitzer is stunned, Arnson is caught in the act and sent off, ending the Jarls' play before they have a chance to score. Executioners turn 12. In a desperate play, Shalolo Deadstrike blitzes Harani Meldenson and knocks the ball carrier down, stunning him. Deadstrike comes away with the football and has nowhere else to go and no one to throw it to. Tuken Hellbane gets up and moves to offer what little protection he can. Jarls turn 12. Desperate for a chance to score, however unlikely it now seems, the Jarls giant blitzes Shalolo Deadstrike. He is unable to regulate his own strength, however, and both players go down. Deadstrike is knocked out, but the failure by the giant to remain standing sees the final whistle blow without the Jarls scoring, leaving them to suffer a 2-0 defeat at the hands of the Executioners. So that was the final game of round 6. I will have a summary video of the whole round for you shortly, and then this week we'll be kicking off round 7 of the Brew Bowl as well. We are getting close to the playoffs. We need 2 more rounds of regular action to go before the playoffs begin. So do stay tuned, keep following us on YouTube, come and chat with us on Discord, and we look forward to seeing you next time.